Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, guys, this election is really still coming down to two people. You have Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, but Hillary Clinton not doing as best as she's done in the past. She's really just doing poorly here. According to an article that we have here from Breitbart, you're seeing Donald Trump gaining in the polls with Hillary Clinton dropping nationally. So that's when it comes down to Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. According to Mike Flynn with Breitbart, a new weekly national tracking poll from NBC News shows Donald Trump adding to his lead over the Republican field, while Hillary Clinton's lead over Bernie Sanders narrows slightly. Trump has a support of 38% of Republicans nationally, 20 points higher than his nearest rival, Senator Ted Cruz, with 18%. Hillary Clinton leads Sanders by 10 points, 50 to 40%. The poll was conducted last week, Monday through Sunday, so it mostly doesn't reflect changes from Saturday's GOP presidential debate. According to the survey, however, Trump gained 3 points over the week, while Cruz dropped 2 points. Senator Marco Rubio, Republican from Florida, also lost ground, dropping 3 points, while John Kasich rose 4 points, and Jeb Bush gained a single point. Good job, Jebby. Anyway, so that's what we have regarding the polls, the updated thing regarding that. But Hillary Clinton really just is not doing all that well on the campaign trail. There's this new video that's out of Hillary just really coughing up a storm there at really coughing worse than Obama when he was on the nicotine. It's he really just was horrible. Hillary Clinton trying to get through his speech, but just started coughing, couldn't stop it. I don't know what's wrong with her, but this is from NBC News. Go ahead and play that.
We're running the legal clinic at the University of Arkansas to represent inmates. Excuse me. Too much to say. That's been part of my mission. And representing poor people through the Legal Services Corporation. It was about making people's lives better. If you work at it, you stick with it, you can make a difference.
So, that was Hillary Clinton's embarrassing performance Tuesday in Harlem. And if it wasn't for, all the scandals that she's gone through with Benghazi, with the email scandal, Clinton's turning the IRS into the Gestapo, covering Bill Clinton's dirty deeds, you have looting the White House, and all these scandals that take... I'd almost feel embarrassed for her. You also have Filegate, where they were keeping files on their enemies. Yeah, that's Hillary Clinton for you. And on top of all that, there's another really embarrassing thing that came out about her too. So she went from she just did this, but there's something else that Hillary Clinton just did that's really grabbing all the headlines. Hillary Clinton was delivering a speech in Reno, Nevada, and she decided to start barking like a dog, attempting to shame Republicans. Yeah, that's what took place here. And this is from CNN. Hillary Clinton's stump speech has gone to the dogs. Haha, that's so funny. Not really, but Clinton told a colorful story on Monday in Reno that ended with the former Secretary of State barking like a dog. Clinton was in the middle of a riff about how, in her view, Republicans say that they are, or say things that are not true. They lie. When she remembered a radio ad that she said ran in rural Arkansas while her husband, Bill Clinton, was running for office. And we have the audio bit for you here. This is Hillary Clinton, and she starts barking like a dog. Play it.
Wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something, we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog, and the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, we need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, you know, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation, with, you know?
So really, it's just an absolutely embarrassing performance by Hillary Clinton, barking like a dog on the campaign trail. Barking like a dog. Now, we have the audio bit. I'm going to go ahead and play this for you again. I want you to listen to this. Or let's put some background music behind it this time. Hillary Clinton, this is her, what CNN referred to as her stump speech in Reno, Nevada. Go ahead and play it.
Wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something, we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog. And the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, we need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, you know, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation, with, you know?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
You know?
You're listening to Caiden Cowger, America's next generation of conservative talk radio.
I think that sounded pretty good. I don't know about you. I mean, it's almost like that bark is just perfect. It's just absolutely perfect for the soundtrack there of Who Let the Dogs Out. I mean, so yeah, that was Hillary Clinton barking like a dog, I guess, attempting to quote unquote shame Republicans. Yeah, that's I think she really just embarrassed herself. That's all that performance was. And then so you have the coughing incident where she just couldn't stop. Just couldn't. Couldn't stop coughing. And then you have, the incident with Marco Rubio. And, where he had to, just quickly grab a drink of water. But you're not really hearing all this, made of a big deal with, Hillary Clinton just going on this huge coughing thing. Huge coughing spree. Has to drink water several times. Even has to stop in the middle of his speech to take a cough drop. You don't hear anything about that. No, it's just Marco Rubio. Oh yeah, we have to go after him. That's the liberal media.
Wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something, we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog, and the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, we need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, you know, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation, with, you know?
That's really, I'm sorry, that is just so embarrassing. It is. Okay, that's enough of that. But I tell you, Hillary Clinton is just a very, very awkward woman. How in the world did Bill put up with? Well, we know how that went about. But anyway, yeah. So that's all I've got to say about that. I tell you, the more Hillary Clinton is on the campaign trail, the more her campaign it's just turning into an absolute joke. And people keep talking about how Donald Trump is just really making himself look bad, how he's making the Republican Party look bad. You know why? Why people aren't paying any attention to the Democratic Party. They're just solely focusing on the Republican Party because Donald Trump and several of the other candidates, well, Donald Trump, of course, is the most entertaining, but Republicans really have a lot more to offer this time around. And they're really a lot more entertaining than the Democrats. I mean, they hold your interest. Ted Cruz, good guy. Donald Trump holds a lot of people's attention. I mean, he's really doing a fantastic job at that. And it's completely just taking all the attention off of the Democrats. And when the Democrats are making the headlines, I mean, guys, look, and that's another thing. Remember Lindsey Graham saying, well, you know, I really don't like Donald Trump because he's getting the headlines off Hillary Clinton. I think that's absolutely fantastic because all the headlines are going on Donald Trump and they're reporting his policies, reporting what he wants to do. They're covering the Republicans a lot more than they're covering the Democrats. And when they do cover the Democrats, look at what they're reporting. So I think Donald Trump has done a really good job for the Republican Party when it comes to getting the media's attention. And I think it's going to result in, even if Donald Trump does not get the nomination, which, I mean, right now it's just looking like he has it in the bag. Even if he wouldn't get the nomination, he's really just making the Democrats look like fools and making the Republican establishment look foolish as well. So it really helps. Now with Ted Cruz, I mean, because they've had such a back and forth going on, I don't know how that would end up if Trump ever would drop out. He's not going to drop out. If Ted Cruz dropped out, I don't know if his support would go to Trump. It probably would end up going to Marco Rubio because Trump and Cruz have just really been at each other's throats there. But it's very interesting indeed. This entire election process that we're seeing here. And I think, isn't Donald Trump, because I know we have with our Myrtle Beach affiliate down there, Mr. Patrick Dosler, from our station there in the Myrtle Beach area, WXMB FM 101.5. Yeah, listen to us down there. He was telling me that Donald Trump or something was going to be going to Myrtle Beach sometime soon. And I think I read that off on the show sometime also. February 19th. Oh, yeah, February 19th. And he's going to be at the Myrtle Beach Sports Center at 12 o'clock. So you just have a few days left. Today's the 17th. So, yeah, you guys, I want to check that out, get tickets for it. And they have media requests and everything on there, too, if you're looking into that. And then after that, he's going to be, it says, in Charleston, South Carolina, Sparks, Nevada. After that. And that's February 23rd. He'll be in Nevada. February 19th, oh yeah, also February 19th, he will be in the North Charleston Convention Center at 7 o'clock. So you can also get tickets there if you want to go see him. So, yeah, that's, I'll just tell you that I was very entertained when Trump was there at a Value Voter Summit. I thought he did a good job. Ted Cruz really impressed me there too. Those were the top two, speeches that were given there. I thought, and I sort of liked, regarding, because, well, Cruz is in a more comfortable environment because I think he, being an evangelical himself, I think he does a decent job at reaching out to evangelicals. And, of course, I think would be a lot more comfortable in a setting like the Value Voter Summit. It was a really entertaining. Trump did a great job there. Cruz did a fantastic job. He jumped into the crowd and started shaking hands. And like I said, I was the first one to shake his hand after he finished his speech. That was really neat. But yeah, I liked Cruz's speech here at Values Voter Summit. So, but Trump was very entertaining too. So if you want to go see him, I tell you, even if you are a Cruz supporter or something else, I mean, he was definitely very entertaining. And I'm also going to try to get you the events for Ted Cruz too, because I don't have that. Let's see here. Okay, here's the events for Ted Cruz. He's going to be in Seneca, South Carolina today. And it'll be at 12, so that's already over, never mind. Today tomorrow, okay, let's go to tomorrow. He's going to be in Easley, South Carolina, which will be on February 18th. And Myrtle Beach on February 19th at, it's going to be free, and it's going to be at 9 o'clock a.m. So you can, and Duck Commander Phil Robertson is also going to be there in Myrtle Beach. So there you go. You can go and see Phil Robertson, there on the 19th. And then after that, if you want to go see Donald Trump, you can go and do that too. But he's also, yeah, okay. So look at that. Trump and Cruz are going to be in the same areas on the same day. Cruz is going from Myrtle Beach to Charleston. That's interesting. All right, we'll be back.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
This is Buchanan's 1460 WBUC.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
JP Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Paraswabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Paraswabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Paraswabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Paraswabs. Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Paraswabs treatment. Paraswabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on 1460 AM WBUC, Buchanan. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It is great to have you with us. I really don't care if they dislike each other. I still think they'd make a good team. Because you have Ted Cruz, who's a good debater, and you have Donald Trump that's a good debater. I think that they would make a very exceptional team if they would, run together. But that's probably not going to happen. Although it could. I mean, my theory still stands. Maybe they cook something up before Iowa. You attack me, I'll attack you, and we'll force the establishment to choose between us. I mean, I'm still leaving my theory out there. I mean, it's every day. I mean, it's harder to see that become a reality. But hey, I'm still going to leave that there. A new Pew study from Breitbart.com. Millennials have the least confidence. Listen to this. Have the least confidence in future of U.S., in the future of the United States. Millennials have less confidence, and this is by Caroline May. Millennials have less confidence in the future of the United States compared to older generations, according to a report from the Pew Research Center. Pew reports that a recent survey found that 37% of millennials, or Americans ages 18 to 34 years old, that's what that block is made up of, said that they have quite a lot of confidence in the country's future, compared to 45% of Generation Xers, or people ages 35 to 50 years old. So that's only 37% that say that they have quite a lot of confidence in the country's future. So really just not a lot of optimists out there for the country. You have a lot of pessimists and realists. Because, I mean, I'm just going to tell you, unless we get a president in there that actually knows how to get the economy back on the right track, we are done for as a country. We have to elect a conservative, and if we do not get a conservative in the office, our nation is done for. I mean, this is the last stand. We have where we have Supreme Court justices that are coming up. I mean, now we are going to have a battle with Scalia's seat. And by the way, let me just say something about that real quick, okay? Because everyone keeps talking about Scalia, about how the Senate has a responsibility to fill Scalia's seat. Okay, Justice Scalia, and this is, before I get to that, let me just say this too. I was watching Fox News, and it was Megyn Kelly. She wasn't on there. But it was Megyn Kelly's show, The Kelly File, and they were having this employee, I guess, a staffer for Bernie Sanders on there, along with a conservative columnist, okay? Well, anyway, this staffer for Bernie Sanders said that Justice Scalia would want President Obama to fill his seat, would want President Obama to choose the nominee and get someone in there as quickly as possible. And I'm thinking, do you have any idea who that man was? I mean, he even said back in 2012, Justice Scalia said in 2012 that he did not want someone to replace him that would just completely undo everything that he did. In other words, he does not want to be replaced by a liberal. And guess who Obama would replace him with? That's right, a liberal. So, no, Scalia does not want his seat to be filled as quickly as possible. He wants it to be filled with a conservative, okay? With an originalist. President Obama is not known to nominate originalists. And Scalia even said, I have to explain to people that the Constitution is not a living and breathing document like they say. It doesn't breathe. It's dead. It's dead. It doesn't change unless you amend it. And when people say, oh, it's a breathing document, in other words, over a period of time, it's meant to evolve. No, it's not. The only evolution that takes place with the Constitution is if it's amended. And that's why the founders allowed it to be amended. So if times did change, and there would be a requirement or find it necessary that we need to change something in the Constitution, it could be amended and changed that way. It doesn't change automatically like the Supreme Court has decided to do with various issues out there, like abortion and same-sex marriage. It does not change on its own. And guys, it's really just, it's simple. I mean, it's not hard to read into this stuff, because you have to look into what did the founders believe. Okay. What do we look at regarding the wording in the Constitution? What did the founders believe regarding the wording? What was the purpose of that wording? You look at all that, and some of these people, they just interpret the Constitution to match their political opinions rather than matching the opinions of the founding fathers and the original intent, okay? They don't look at any of that anymore. Some justices don't. You have, of course, justices in there like Clarence Thomas that still do. But we have to be very careful with this Supreme Court decision, because if we nominate the wrong person, if the wrong person gets in there, I mean, we just have another liberal in the court, and then we are way in the minority. We only have 3 conservative justices left, and that's if none of the others kick the bucket. So that's really something that we have to be careful about. But already the Democrats are in a hurry. We got to get Scalia out of there. All right, he's out. He's done for now. He's gone. Now we've got to replace him. Oh, by the way, there's another thing that I saw in a report here, and it was from, it was like to CNN, I guess. Someone sent this to me on Twitter. But according to Poindexter, the guy that we were talking about, Poindexter was the guy who found Justice Scalia on his ranch. Apparently now he's saying that the pillow was not over Scalia's head, like you said. It meant that it was up against the headboard. It was against the headboard, not over his face. So that's what we're being told now. And I remind you, this is Poindexter. He's changing his story a little bit now. So that's not suspicious. A Democratic donor now changing his story, saying, "Oh no, he didn't leave a pillow over his face." That's not what happened. So that's what we're hearing now from this entire thing. But anyway, guys, so that's there's nothing that's going to be done. And by the way, I think his body is being taken back to the Senate. So it's or not. What am I saying? Senate? I mean Supreme Court. So that's, there's not going to be an autopsy, I guess. There's not going to be anything looked into homicide there. So, I mean, believe what you will. I guess it's closing down now. I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm not, like I said on the last show, I'm not one for conspiracy theories. A lot of stuff just didn't add up with that. I didn't feel comfortable about a police force that comes out of a town of about 1,000 people. When, 8,000 is a small town, that's an even smaller town. They're the ones who did the autopsy, and they really probably don't even have any homicide experience. At least we know the U.S. Marshal does not have any homicide experience. So it's really disturbing, and we don't know if they checked for hemorrhaging around the eyes or around the mouth. So yeah, that's the thing that made me uncomfortable was when they said that they're not going to do an autopsy. And that's really the only thing that really it worried me. It really did. It's concerned me. It still concerns me. But I mean, what are you going to do? You have this justice of the peace that got a degree out of a cereal box that said, "Oh, well, I talked with the doctor and the doctor said he had health problems. So there's no reason for an autopsy. Just send him home." I don't know. And he declined a security detail on top of all that. I mean, it's really just, I don't agree with it. I think that it should have been handled a lot differently, but what are you going to do? And, we're really going to see the outcome. Whoa, I just banged my microphone with my hand here. Anyway, okay. Getting back to what I was talking about, it's really going to be interesting seeing if Mitch McConnell ends up caving in to Obama and allowing Obama to appoint the next Supreme Court justice, because that Obama is going to give the Republican Party, what? He's going to do everything that he possibly can to interfere, to make the Republicans look bad, like they're holding the Supreme Court hostage. And you know that, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now, this is a prediction that I am making right now here on February 17th of 2016. I think that President Obama is going to use the exact terminology, the Republican Party is holding the Supreme Court hostage. That is exactly what is probably going to happen. And you know what? We need to hold the Supreme Court hostage because Scalia would want us to. That was our seat. That was a conservative seat there. Scalia made it perfectly clear in 2012 that he did not want a liberal to replace him. So therefore, I think we need to fight to maintain that seat as much as possible and allow a new president to pick it. And, if Hillary Clinton gets it, so be it. I guess all of you guys, including myself, will move to Jamaica.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
This is Buchanan's 1460 WBUC.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
I guess there's lots of ways to look at things that don't seem right.
No Worries has just been released on iTunes and Amazon.
It's gonna be alright.
You can find Franz Black and his music on his website, franzblack.com. F-R-A-N-Z black.com.
It's gonna be alright.
Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on 1460 AM WBUC, Buchanan. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program, the youngest nationally syndicated radio host in the country, according to Talkers Magazine. Great to have you with us. So, by the way, this is something that I was going to read. I don't think I read it. I don't remember if I did or not. But this was from New Hampshire. Bernie Sanders is leaving New Hampshire. Hillary Clinton along with him. They're already campaigning in South Carolina right now. But Clinton left New Hampshire with the same amount of delegates as Bernie Sanders. So Bernie Sanders won by over 60, somewhere around 60%. Hillary had something like 38%, I think, somewhere around there. But they're leaving with the same number of delegates. And a lot of people that working for the Sanders camp is really upset. We can't believe this happened. Well, believe it. I mean, that's socialism for you. Bernie Sanders worked really hard to win in New Hampshire. I mean, he put all of his energy, all of his might, trying to win New Hampshire. And then guess what happens? Out of all of his hard work, even winning 60% of the vote, over 60% of the vote, he gets the same amount of power, or the same amount of delegates as Hillary Clinton there. Yeah, Bernie Sanders won 60, this final result, 60.4%, with Clinton at 38%. Sanders was ahead by 22.4 points. And Hillary picked up around the same amount of delegates as Bernie Sanders. I mean, guys, this is just absolutely remarkable. It really is. So, I mean, guys, that's what we're seeing in this race here. I mean, Bernie, how do you like the delegate thing? Because that's socialism. That is socialism, buddy. And that's exactly what you're wanting to do to this country. You are wanting, and see, this is the thing. This is from the, this is according to the delegate count here. You have 36 delegates for Bernie Sanders, 32 for Clinton. That's what I'm getting here anyway. But it's quite fascinating seeing what is taking place here. So basically, Bernie's right there with Hillary. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. We are in really just hot water here in this race. Like on the Republican side, I know that the Democrats are. The Democratic establishment's really sweating it. But it's I don't know. I just found it quite funny to hear that Bernie Sanders was just socialized, basically, on the campaign trail. His hard work is Hillary Clinton's gain. And that's really what he's wanting to do to our country. The hard work of the middle class is the lower class's gain. They don't have to do anything to get rewarded for their inactivity. And that's what we're going to see if Bernie Sanders gets in there. And I also, where is it? I know I also have another article here somewhere. Oh, let me find it. I hate it when this stuff happens. Do I have it? I don't think I do. Let me look it up real quick. I read somewhere that Bernie Sanders did not earn his, here it is, from the Gateway Pundit. There it is. Okay, I found it. From the Gateway Pundit, Bernie Sanders was a bum until age 40. He had not earned a paycheck until he reached age 40. Bernie Sanders, and this is from Gateway Pundit, this is their headline. Bernie Sanders, a bum who didn't earn his first steady paycheck until age 40, then wormed his way into politics. Bernie Sanders, this is by Jim Hoft. What a shock. Bernie Sanders was a bum who really didn't earn a steady paycheck until he was 40 years old. He was a slob who lived in a shack with a dirt floor. He later wrote about sexual explicits for left-wing rags for $50 a story. The socialist then wormed his way into politics. Bernie had his electricity cut off, so he'd run an extension cord down to the basement because he couldn't pay his bill. So this guy was just a freeloader. Bernie the freeloader, basically. Because you have Freddie the freeloader, Bernie the freeloader is what we're seeing here. So it's really just absolutely pathetic on the part of Bernie Sanders. And continuing here, that it really does explain why he's in support of all this free stuff. And Investors Business Daily also reported this and said that, and now today he is running for president so he can take your money and redistribute it. Investors Business Daily reported. Sanders spent most of his life as an angry, radical, and agitator who never accomplished much of anything. And yet now he thinks that he deserves the power to run your life and your finances. We will raise taxes. Yes, we will, he confirmed Monday when that was reported. One of his first jobs was registering people for food. Okay. Hang on a minute. You think this is good? Bernie Sanders' one of his first jobs was registering people for food stamps. Oh, that's wonderful. And he probably signed himself up. And it was all downhill from there. Sanders took his first bride to live in a maple sugar shack with a dirt floor, and she soon left him. Penniless, he went on unemployment. So basically, he's a loser. He then had a child out of wedlock. Desperate, he tried to get into carpentry, but could barely sink a nail. He was a poopy carpenter, and I cleaned that up for you. A friend told Politico magazine. His carpentry was not going to support him and didn't. He tried his hand freelancing for radical leftist rags, writing about the sexual explicits that I came across earlier, and other crudities for a $50 story. He drove around in a rusted-out, Bondo-covered VW Bug with no working windshield wipers. Friends said he was always poor, and his electricity was turned off a lot. They described him as a slob who kept a messy apartment. And this is what his friends had to say about him. The only thing he was good at was talking nonstop about socialism and about how the rich were ripping off everybody. Well, no wonder he wouldn't go out and get a reliable job. You know, I want money like they have, but I don't have any because I don't work and they do. And it's not fair. Then go out and get a job, you lazy bum. But anyway, that's, what does the Bible say? You don't work, you don't eat. Well, guess what, Bernie? You don't work, you don't eat. Applies to you too. So he started politics, starting his own socialist party. 4 times he ran for Vermont public office, and 4 times he lost badly. He never attracted more than a single-digit support. Even in the People's Republic of Vermont, this occurred. In his 1971 bid for the U.S. Senate, the local press said that the 30-year-old Sanders described himself as a carpenter who worked with disturbed children. He actually lived in an apartment by himself, and he was the only disturbed child living in it, so I guess that is correct. In other words, a real winner. He finally wormed his way into the Senate in 2006, where he still ranks as one of the poorest members of Congress, and he only has a net worth of approximately, I think, somewhere around 300,000, somewhere, I think, like 300,000. Anyway, save for a municipal pension, Sanders lists no assets in his name. All the assets provided in his financial disclosure form are from his second wife. So he married money. He does, however, have as much as $65,000 in credit card debt. So, guys, I said this with Marco Rubio, right? And I'm going to say the same exact thing with Bernie Sanders. When you have all this debt, when you have all this credit card debt, and you can't even manage your own debt, and you say, oh, well, you know, I'm going to pay back the $18 trillion that we owe, soon to be $21 trillion when Obama gets out of there. I'm going to pay back all this debt that our nation owes. When you can't even pay back your own debt, how in the world can you honestly say that you're going to pay back over $20 trillion? I mean, that's just absolutely crazy, but that's what we hear from these people. But sit tight. We're not done. There's still a little bit more to this. I'm going to continue reading it when we get back. But I tell you guys, basically, Bernie Sanders is an absolute loser, and he wants to make the entire United States full of losers. So Trump wants to make America great again. Sanders wants to make America poor again.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight. You're listening to Caiden Cowger on 1460 AM WBUC, Buckhannon.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Paraswabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Paraswabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Paraswabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Paraswabs. Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Paraswabs treatment. Paraswabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on 1460 AM WBUC, Buchanan. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. You know, I was just thinking, and I've said this quite some time, but wouldn't it be so fascinating to see Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders come down in a general election, a head-to-head race? Now, to me, that would really be interesting because you would have socialism versus capitalism, the poster child of American socialism against the poster child of American capitalism. I keep hitting my microphone. I don't know why. But anyway, continuing here. He finally wormed, this is Sanders. Bernie Sanders from the Investors Business Daily. Bernie Sanders finally wormed his way into the Senate in 2006, where he still ranks as one of the poorest members of Congress. I think he has around $300,000 of net worth or something like that. Although, from what it says here, save for a municipal position, blah, 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 or pension, I mean. Sanders lists no assets at this time, so that's just his net worth, I guess. But anyway, all the assets provided in his financial disclosure form are from his second wife. Like I said, married into money. Was poor, so he married someone who had some additional money that could get him out of that. So anyway, like a socialist, just bumming money off of people. But anyway, he does, however, have as much as a $65,000 credit card debt. But yet he's saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna pay back all the debt. We're gonna pay back all the $18 trillion, or we're gonna do all that. Yeah, and we're gonna do it by raising taxes. Yes, we will. Okay." Sure, Sanders may not be a hypocrite, but this is still nothing to brag about. His worthless background contrasts sharply with the successful careers of other outsiders in the race for the White House, including a billionaire developer, a world-renowned neurosurgeon, and a Fortune 500 CEO. The choice in this election is shaping up to be a very clear one. It will likely boil down to a battle between those who create and produce wealth and those who take it and redistribute it. And that is exactly right. That is from Investors Business Daily. Such an absolutely superb report there. Great coverage on that. So that's what we have here. And also, by the way, I was also going to read this for you on the last show, but with Scalia's death and everything, we ended up talking about that. But millennials, I guess, are saying that they prefer socialism over capitalism, and this is from another poll. Breitbart reported it. A new survey, and this is Mike Flynn, a new survey from YouGov finds that millennials have more favorable views of socialism than capitalism. According to what we have here, 43% of Americans under 30 had a favorable view of socialism. Less than a third of millennials had a favorable view of capitalism. Less than a third. So that's really just absolutely horrible, ladies and gentlemen. But it's that's the America that we're living in now, and millennials really need to wake up. I will say that Donald Trump, I think, has been doing a good job at waking a lot of millennials up, because there are a lot of young people pulling for Trump. I haven't seen people this politically involved my age ever. I mean, I've got involved originally to get people my age involved in politics and get them concerned about what's happening in the government when no one else on the Republican Party seemed to. But I will tell you that Donald Trump has all the millennials, all the kids talking about him, and really it's favorably, at least at my school. And we did a poll. The AP government class at Buchanan Upshur High School did a poll, and they found that 68% of the students there preferred Donald Trump compared to Hillary Clinton. So that was 68 to 32%. So that's really just absolutely amazing there. Another thing that we have here, Rolling Stones is saying that Donald Trump has no permission to use songs at his rallies. Well, you know, Mick Jagger, you can't always get what you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.